Hello there, travelers. In this video, I'm gonna give my own build guide for Kachina, who was introduced along with Molani in Phase 1 banner of 5.0. Also, she was and will be available for free as soon as you meet her in Natlan while doing Act 1 of Natlan Sort Quest. This is not a perfect guide and a perfect build video, but since I've been using her for some time now, and since from her launch, I'm sharing my own build guide and my thoughts on her for this video. So Kachina is a poster character building a Poleon weapon with Geo Vision. So her main thing is her elemental skill. So her elemental skill is very useful in exploring Natlan, mountains actually. So across Natlan, she's very useful. So apart from Natlan, she's kind of okay, but not great when you compare to the likes of Aelon, Lynette. So Lynette is actually a 4-star character. You can able to use that skill and also have the stamina restored while doing that one, both with Aelon and Lynette. But while using Kachina over here while exploring other parts of the map except for Natlan. In Natlan, you can able to give her the red bar, like orange bar back on your HP with the interacting objects nearby. So that's more viable. But apart from Natlan, you have other characters. You need to go for other characters. Even Kirara, for example, she can able to turn into an box mode, and she can able to travel faster. Not at the rate of Kachina, but she can able to cover large distance, and she will restore some stamina. Even though Kachina can't won't even won't take up the stamina from a stamina bar, but her night soul thing will end faster when compared to the element. It's on par with the Kachina, Lynette's elemental skill. Kachina's elemental skill duration is, but Lynette is much more, a couple of seconds extra, while Kirara's can be used like crazy hard, and Kirara can be used for climbing mountains just like with Kachina here as well. But there's an opportunity with having Kachina on your team. So whenever you are climbing with the other characters, so when you are so near, close to the edge, when then Kachina will come in your handy when you are having like a stamina run out of. So when you have a stamina gone nearly at the bottom, so you have to reach the top, then you switch to Kachina while using the other characters. That is, make sure to keep that one in mind. So when you have Night Blast, when you switch to other character, she will immediately use the Turbo Poly mode and try to climb it with her Night Soul points. So that's where she comes in handy outside of Natlan. But in Natlan, even with the current map, she excels in exploration. She's very useful in exploration. So it's better to use Kachina for exploration if you're gathering like a lot of materials for new characters, let's say Moalani, or Kinich, or even the upcoming characters. Use Kachina and try to get the materials faster. That way it's pretty much easy. So if you don't have Moalani, just like I had you on this account, so I think it's better to use Kachina. But if you have Moalani, she's very good in exploring a lot of Natlan, but not for climbing. So when it comes to climbing, I think Kachina is the best one. So in Natlan so far. So make sure you are having some Natlan characters while exploring Natlan, and also collecting some materials, especially Kachina over here. She will come in handy. Anyway, that's for exploration. That's our skill combo. Now let's move on to our weapon. So this is for actual build guide video. So over here, we have Footprint of the Rainbow. So this is the best weapon so far in the game for Kachina. It's available for free from the version 5.0 update. So it's available for free for everyone. So I think you would have collected it already by now. Or you can able to craft it from the blacksmith in Natlan. But at the moment you need the blueprint. So if you're having to claim this reward, means I think it's available for everyone. I can't remember how I got this blueprint, but it was from the event which was available before. And if you have this blueprint, like one weapon is available for them now. Yeah, you can able to get the blueprint, but you won't be having the billets for crafting this weapon. Yeah, that's the one you won't be having. But you can able to purchase the blueprint from an Natlan's blacksmith. Yeah. This one provides a basic attack of 510 at level 90 and defense of 51.7%, which is nice. And also this weapon provides using an elemental skill increases defense by 16% for 15 seconds. So by using our elemental skill, her defense will be increased, and that will further boost her elemental skill and elemental burst damage. So which will come in, I will go through that in a minute. Okay. So that's for our weapon. So if you don't have this weapon, or if you don't want to use this weapon means just go with the vaious lance. That will give you energy recharge, and that way you can have more energy for our burst. Our burst takes up so much energy, and you need to use our burst while so when you're about to use our elemental skill, so that way you can dish out more damage with our burst. So we'll get into Talens soon. Yeah, we'll go through the one later. So for now, if you're gonna use vaious lance, like a vaious lance, it will solve your energy recharge problem with Kachina. But I recommend going for this weapon so that you can dish out quick damage and swap out to other character. Okay, next up, artifacts. So artifacts, I have at the moment I have given Emblem of Swayed Fate for energy recharge plus 20%. That's why I can able to cast our elemental burst over like a not non-stop, but it will be available as soon as possible. And then I went with the Ask of Opulent Dreams for 2 preset bonus of defense plus 30. So since I am using her at the moment in Rainbow team, so not in a pure Geo team, so it's better to go with this one here. If you are using her in a pure mono Geo team, go with Ask of Opulent Dreams. That will dish out more damage. And if you are using her in other teams, so the best artifact set will be this one over here. It's part of the Hero of Synchronicity. At the moment, I haven't gotten any proper pieces, so I went with this set piece over here. It's fine, but you won't be having the necessary bonus from the 4-piece over here. You definitely need to go for the 4-piece bonus over here. So what ends up happening is, so when you trigger a reaction, that is crystallization reaction with Kachina, which is easy to do if you have a sub DPS character. So reaction based like a off-field character related to the reaction related to their elemental type. All party members gain a 12% elemental bonus. So create like if you're having this, so what ended up happening here, cast an elemental skill or elemental like a cast an elemental skill. So not on a hold mode, which I'll come into a moment anyway. So just to tap it, and then so once the crystallization happened, switch to other character, you will end up having like a 40% damage bonus for the certain element type, the next element type, or even with Kachina, you will have 40% damage bonus for 20 seconds. So there you go. The equipping character can trigger this effect while off field, and the damage bonus from artifact sets with the same name does not stack. So you need to have only one character having this one. So that's will be Kachina. So Night Soul Blessing State. So Night Soul Blessing State is needed. So once that one is active, so then you will have 20% elemental bonus for the elemental types involved in the elemental reaction for 20 seconds. So the elemental blessing state will be below Kachina's. On the side, you can able to see the actual Night Soul Blessing State. Yeah. Night Soul Blessing State can be easily viewed while Natlan characters are on the side. So there will be a small mini bar between their head icon for Kachina, that is, and you will see that bar slowly moving towards moves towards the end, and it will go away. So that's the Night Soul Blessing State. Yeah, there you go. So switch to other character, and then the other character elemental damage type will be into the bonus from the elemental types will be increased away. So that will come in handy if you are triggering. So that's one of the reason I was using her in Hyper Boom reaction team at the moment. So but I kind of running out of energy problems. So yeah, but I'll get to that one later. Anyway, so that's for artifacts. So you definitely need to go for this one. That's the one. Yeah, it's part of the Hero of Synchronicity, and Ask of Opulent Dreams for the extra added bonus from this one here. Yeah, there you go. So the Curiosity effect, and also one stack after hitting an opponent with the Geotech, which it can be easily do. And off field, and the stack can be increased by 1 every 3 seconds. So that will increase your overall defense and 6% geo damage bonus. So okay, there we go. So it can be improved this way. I mean, 6 seconds pass without gaining a curiosity stack, 1 stack is lost. There you go, which is useful. And then in a mono Geo team, there is. So Golden Troop. So if you're using as a sub DPS, like using a elemental skill more often than being your on field, so she's on a kind of an on field DPS. So if you want to use her as just for her elemental skill, so if you have a lot of Golden Troop set pieces, just give her a 4-piece set. Like a 4-piece set bonus for her, and that will increase her overall elemental skill damage, since it can be used as a sub DPS. So it's like a off-field damage dealer with elemental skill. So just tap it and then switch to other character, go for your on-field DPS character, and then keep doing that one more again, and you'll get more value out of golden troop. That's how we can use golden troop. This set piece hold here. So those are the recommended ones, but I went with two piece combination, so you can go with this kind of combination too. It will work for her, but I highly recommend going for defense, extra defense for her. Then for the Constellation, this is where her highlight comes in. So I have gone through like a lot of guides for Kachina, but nobody mentions something which I'm gonna pinpoint now. So, but I'm not entirely sure whether it will work since I don't have all the Constellation for her. But we'll go through the Constellation one by one. So shots or gems too. When Kachina mounts or dismounts Turbo Trolley, she will observe nearby elemental shots created by Crystallize. So it's very similar to Navia's elemental skill, right? So she can observe the crystalline shots. Additionally, when a party member picks up such a shot, anything, 3 energy will be restored to Kachina. So if you are using Navia, like in a mono Geo team, if you are using Navia, when party member picks up such a shot, crystalline shot that is, 3 energy will be restored to Kachina, and then you will have a burst, like a burst happening sooner. And then energy can be restored this way once every 5 seconds. So for every 5 seconds, you will get our energy back for Kachina. This is really good. So that's why if you have Constellation for her, so with Constellation, Mono J team will be much more able for Kachina, and that's where she excels at. So just like Noel, I'll come to Noel in a moment. So while using so this kind of boost both Kachina as well as if you have Navia in your party, they can able to both of them can be Kachina can get more benefit while having Navia in your team. Then we have Never Leave Home Without Turbo Trolley. When Kachina uses time to get serious, so she will regain 20 Night Soul points. This is kind of useful, but I find it like a less value. So I have come to this one here. Time to get serious is her elemental burst damage. So there you go. So elemental burst. Whenever she uses elemental burst, so this will give you 20 Night Soul points. With Night Soul points, Night Soul points, you will have like 20 points on her side. So that will. Okay, I think I got the blessings right. Night Soul blessing wrongly there before, but whatever. So we'll go through this one here. With Night Soul points, you will have like a 3 Turbo Trolley jump, like a AoE damaged output from her elemental skill, but sometimes you will lose the action, like you will lose some point. It's like some few extra seconds with the Night Soul points, since you may accidentally tap it and you may miss it. So instead of jumping with the Turbo Trolley. Anyway, so this one is here. If it was like more than 20 minutes, I would have taken it, but this is fine. It's better than nothing, actually. If there is no Turbo Trolley belonging to her on the field, she will enter Night Soul Blessing and summon one. Yeah, there you go. So she will summon one and try to go with that one there. And then we have, so this will, what happens is if you with C2, with Kachina that is, so if you go for her elemental burst, time to get serious that is, she will immediately mount Turbo Trolley, Turbo Trolley on the field, and she will enter Night Soul Blessing and summon one. So if there's no Turbo Trolley, means she will enter Night Soul's Blessing. There you go. That's where it comes in handy. So Night Soul Blessing mode, and try summons one Turbo Trolley to her side. This is easy. So that's where Night Soul Blessing comes in, and then you can immediately switch to other character and try to dish out more damage with the like a 40% increased elemental damage. It's entirely possible. Then we have this one here, improved stabilizer, which will increase the level of Turbo Trolley by Turbo Trolley, the elemental skill by 3. And then we have more force, more caution. So this is where things get serious with the Kachina. That is, when there are 1, 2, 3, 4 or more enemies. So Kachina is also a great damage dealer when it comes to like a lot of smaller enemies. So if you have a bunch of smaller enemies, going with the elemental skill and elemental burst, it will dish out more damage with a lot of smaller enemies. Even with a lot of higher enemies, like if you have multiple enemies on the battlefield, Kachina is a wise choice, and it's a must-have character actually. When there are 1 per 2 per 3 for 4 or more opponents within the turbo field created by time to get serious, which is the elemental burst, the active character within the field gains 8%, 12%, 16%, 20% increased defense. There you go. She will have 8, 12, 16, 20% increase defense. So that's like a 20% increase in defense if you have like a more than 4 characters on the battlefield. So at least 4. So 4, if you have 4 enemies, which is easy to do when you have multiple smaller enemies like a fungi, all those things, and even in spite of this, they are a nuisance. And if you go against them, so try to use Kachina. And if you have C4, this is where things get serious in a way with Kachina. C4. So from C4, she will be pretty instantly powerful, and she will get better. So with C4, so this one gives you this much, and so it will be active till the effect of her elemental burst. That's a field which was created by time to get serious, right? So once the elemental skill time runs out, like a 9 soul points ran out, switch to Novel. This is where things get interesting actually. I don't know if this will work or not, but I think it will work. So the duration for time to get serious will have much more extra time when compared to the time duration of your elemental skill. Once the elemental skill has been expired, switch to Novel, use the elemental burst, and she will have 20% increased defense. And you know what happens with the C6 Novel with increased defense, right? So extra 20% defense will be converted to attack, and she will dish out more damage. And I think it will work, but I'm not really sure since I don't have C4 Kachina on both of my accounts. So I can't able to showcase you guys that. Maybe in the future I get it, but at the moment I don't have it. So if you have C4 Kachina, let me know in the let me know in the comments below, and hopefully you can try it. If you haven't tried it, try it if you have C4 Kachina, and let me know in the comments below so that I can able to get knowledge of this one here. This is my theory though, but I haven't seen in action, so that you can able to clarify me with these details. Maybe I'm kind of giving you false details, but this is probably this can happen actually. Or you can pop down time to get serious. So if you have Furina, Navia, like a Furina, Noel, and Kachina, and one more character there, so you can have like a pop down elemental burst from Furina first, then go with the Kachina's elemental burst, pop down turbo 12, and then immediately switch to Noel. When you have multiple characters, that will increase Noel's damage like 3-fold mostly with our elemental burst. So you can able to have plenty of things going on with the Noel and Kachina combo. So I think with from C4, I think it will probably work. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comment below if you have tried the one. So this is this is the point which I want to point out. This is an important thing which I wanted to point out for this build guide. So yeah, that's a good bonus over here. And also time to get serious kind of lasts kind of somewhat longer, so you can get the more value out of it anyway. So it won't last as long as Novel's elemental burst though, but you will get the idea of what's going to happen anyway. So once I get C4 for Kachina, I will try to go through one. So that's not the end of the Novel and Kachina combo. We'll get it in a moment. So all I have collected till now, so it will increase the level of time to get serious by 3, which is the elemental burst. Then you have this one. This time I have got a win. So when your active character's shield is replaced or destroyed for any reason, Kachina will deal 200% on your offer defense as AoE geo damage when your active character's shield is replaced. So this effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. When your active character's shield, it's not just for specific for Kachina. Active characters. Active character means anything. Okay. And then we have Kachina will dish out 200% of our defense as AoE geo damage. So it's a geo damage. This effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. And you know what? This will work really well with Noel. So you'll have, if you have C4 Noel, that is. So if you have C4 Noel, whenever Noel's breastplate, that is our elemental skill, breaks up, it will dish out like a 200% of our attack as an AoE geo damage. So we'll go through the one right now. So look at this one here. To be cleansed, when breastplate duration expires or it is destroyed by damage, it will deal 400% of Novel's attack as geo damage bonus to surrounding opponents. And if we combine that with the Kachina C6, where is the one? Which I will there you go. So with C6 Kachina, 200% of our defense as AoE geo damage. There's a lot of damage actually. So like 400% extra damage can be done based on attack of Novel and defense from Kachina. So you will dish out like 800, like a 400, sorry. Yeah, 400% damage, extra damage that is. So for nothing. So 400 damage, easy 400 damage can be done with the Novel and Kachina, C4 and C6 Kachina that is. And if we have, also if we have C6, wait, I need to check Noel's one more. So this one can trigger So this one can happen every time. So this one can trigger every time, and this one here, even though it does have like a 5 second cooldown, it can last longer. That's for sure. And if you have given a novel like a sacrificial greatsword, which I'm using on my novel over here, that's the one. So if you have sacrificial greatsword for novel, so this will give her like a refinement at refinement rank 5. You can able to get unlimited shield with novel with a C4, yeah, unless you are going for unless you are going up against like a shield indicator. Sometimes you won't trigger that ability, but you will get that get that shield back. Or can only occur every 16 seconds. 16 seconds is a lot of time, and her burst like a it's not a lot of time. Her burst plate won't expire for 16 seconds. That's for sure for with novel. And if you have given sacrificial greatsword, you will if you have C4 novel and if you have C6 Kachina, you will be dishing out damage like 400 damage for free. For free. If just by using them, you will get 400% damage for free. Like every time a breastplate from novel gets expired. So I think that's my theory though, but it will work. If you have C6 Kachina, so as I mentioned before, I don't have C4 or C6 Kachina. I don't even have C4 Kachina at the moment. If you have C6 Kachina, this will work. So I'm kind of feeling excited with both of them. So like explaining this one here. So in general, like the important thing you need to keep in mind, if you have C4 novel and if you have C6 Kachina, you can able to get 400% damage for whenever novel's breastplate duration expires. So that's will happen. I think it's a probability. It will happen. I think it will happen. In theory, it will happen, but I'm not really sure. But since I don't have it and I can't really showcase it, as I mentioned before, if you have C6 Kachina and C4 novel, try it out and let me know in the comments below. You don't need to like build them properly. Just go with the go for a small army like a fungi and test this one out and let me know in the comments below if you have them. I think it will work anyway. So that's it for her Constellation. And now moving on to the Talens sword here. So normal decks, if you are using her in a remote team, like with the likes of a Candace and all those stuff, so it's better to like go for normal deck Crackbiter. But I don't recommend going for leveling up this one here. You have to level up with time to get serious. It will dish out an AoE damage, so that's a huge damage at the beginning, like AoE damage. If you have multiple enemies, as I mentioned before, she excels at dishing out more damage against smaller enemies. If you have plenty of smaller enemies or multiple enemies, even bigger enemies too, so she will dish out more damage with our time to get serious. And then as soon as you use time to get serious, go for her emerald skill and try to dish out damage by using turbo trolley, like a punching down the ground with turbo trolley. Use the old mode. Yeah, normal deck will dish out 4 consecutive spirit strikes, and then we have go turbo trolley. I totally forgot to mention go by one. So anyway, we'll go by one now. So go turbo trolley. So 5 lux the turbo trolley will be summoned whenever you use an elemental skill. It depends on whether you are holding the elemental skill or tapping the elemental skill. If you tap the elemental skill, she will launch the turbo trolley on nearby to you, and then at the turbo trolley will dish out periodical damage. So at intervals, at regular intervals, it will dish out damage, AoE damage at regular intervals. So there you go. It does have 2 modes, like 2 options, mount or dismount. So there you go. So AoE geo damage based on Kachina defense. So it depends on defense, hard defense, right? So with Kachina's defense, so based on Kachina defense, so the turbo trolley will dish out damage, AoE damage, geo damage, right? Yeah, AoE geo damage. So if she's riding turbo trolley, she can control it to move and climb swiftly. So that's for exploration. That's where Kachina shines actually. So if you are using a turbo trolley while exploring, you can able to climb swiftly, and also you can able to move swiftly with the Kachina's elemental skill. So that's where she excels actually. So Kachina's main thing is about exploration. So climbing mountains, exploring faster in Natlan, and yeah, that's where she comes in handy. So at the moment, we don't have a proper map for Natlan. Once we have up to 5.3 update, Kachina will come in handy for you guys. If you are a new player, don't build her now. If you are not ready for Kachina, don't worry about building her now. So wait for it, and then if you don't have resources, that is, so wait for it and then go after Kachina, building Kachina after 5.3. So even now she doesn't have proper team, so we'll get into her team combo soon. When Kachina is riding turbo trolley, okay, there you go. And then yeah, turbo trolley will disappear once Kachina's night slow blessing states ends. So yeah, there you go. So night slow blessing states, which I mentioned before. So those are the points which are which are showcased on Kachina's side as a meter, and it is considered a geo construct. Only so it's considered as a geo construct. That's where theory comes in. We'll get into the one soon. Only one turbo trolley created by Kachina yourself can exist. Yeah, only turbo trolley can exist on the battlefield. While when a present like a present and independent of Kachina, okay, there you go. They can exist independently when a turbo trolley is present over Z1. Yeah, there you go. So she can control it to move and climb swiftly and use normal attack. So while she's riding turbo trolley with her limited skill, you can use normal attack to slam the ground, dealing Night Soul aligned AoE geo damage based on Kachina's defense. So both of them are depends on Kachina's defense. Even the blast what's the name? Elemental burst will depend on Kachina defense only. So that elemental skill from Kachina is the one you need for. That's the main thing about Kachina. So far that's the main thing. If you have Constellation, she's a viable choice for your team with once you pair with Noel, even for Layla too. But I highly recommend going after Noel since they get benefit from having more defensive related stuff anyway, and both of them are geocator. And yeah, that's for Kachina's elemental skill. Kachina's elemental burst. Striking the ground, Kachina deals AoE geo damage bonus for geo damage based on its defense and creates a turbo drill field. So she will slam the ground with her turbo trolley, and then she will dish out a large AoE geo damage bonus near her. So like not a large one, so it's a smaller one, but she will dish out a AoE geo damage to every enemy within a certain range, and then creates a turbo drill field. Is that turbo drill field? It's kind of a bigger one actually when compared to the AoE geo damage radius from her and the skill. It's bigger than that one actually. So you can be able to move around within the field created by from the elemental burst, and the speed will be increased. Yeah, so the speed of turbo trolley will be increased, and the turbo trolley's attack AoE will be increased as well. So that's one of the reasons you have to use our elemental burst first and then go for elemental skill. So if you are using outside of Natlan in probably in let's say Abyss, Vile Abyss, so just to use our elemental burst, going to then use our elemental skill. So her elemental skill does have a longer cooldown. Don't waste it anyway. So use our elemental burst, get our elemental burst first, and then you go for elemental skill. Once you cast this one here with C2, she will have a small amount of Night Soul points. Slam the ground twice and then immediately hold on to your elemental skill and try to go for elemental skill fully, and then you slam the ground for more elemental skill damage. And also you have to wait for the actual Night Soul Burst. What's that one called? Night Soul Blessing Burst. I don't know what's that name is actually. Totally forgot that one. Yeah, on top of the head, I can't remember that one. Yeah, that's a Night Soul Burst. Yeah, Night Soul Burst is whenever the Night Soul Burst is available, try to use our elemental burst so that she can produce more damage, and then follow it up with our elemental skill so that you can produce more damage with our elemental skill. So you will get like 2 into damage bonus with our elemental skill. And if you have what's that one? The golden trope, you will have 40% increase in elemental skill. That will stack up anyway. I think so. So her her burst will be pretty viable actually for an DPS in a DPS role. Make sure to hold on to your elemental skill once till you have elemental burst. That's my so far I have played. Make sure to have a hold on to your elemental skill. That way you can be able to cast your elemental burst and get more value out of your elemental burst by doing elemental skill damage with your while elemental burst is active. That's the best way since her elemental skill is on longer cooldown and you can't able to reduce the cooldown for elemental skill in most of the ways anyway. You don't have a proper weapon for doing the one. Then you have Mountain Echoes. After nearby party members triggers a Night Soul Burst, which is available for time to get serious too. And Kachina's geo damage bonus. Yeah, geo damage bonus increases by 20% for 12 seconds. So it will be available for 12 seconds, and the Night Soul Burst actually stays up for 20 seconds in total, I think. So and if you have more than for every Natlan character, so the timing for Night Soul Burst to trigger will be reduced like a 12 for one character, 12 seconds for every 12 seconds Night Soul Burst will trigger, 9 seconds for 2 characters to Natlan characters, and some other mark I can't remember, and 7 seconds for having 3 Natlan characters. So based on the Natlan, how many Natlan characters you have in your party, Night Soul Burst can happen. So I totally forgot. I have no idea about regarding Night Soul Burst at the beginning. So Night Soul Burst doesn't do any damage, but it will boost the damage output from your Natlan characters, whether it's Elemental Skill or Elemental Burst. The Night Soul Burst can be seen like a pinpointed when it's going to trigger. So when it has triggered, by keeping a lookout on your screen, so you will see a symbol, so Natlan like symbol. So I don't know which symbol actually is. So for each character, maybe it may like a differ from each Natlan tribe. I'm not really sure, but I haven't seen. It's very hard to like a pinpoint what kind of tribe is there. I don't know. I have no idea. So there will be a mark like thing will happen. So you just to remember Natlan tribe symbols, right? So anything will trigger there. So something will trigger. Like some kind of a symbol will trigger. You will see that one. It's hard to spot actually. You need to keep an eye for that one every time if you're going to use some characters like from Natlan. It's not appropriate at the time. So like even a lot of times I miss it anyway. So even at the beginning while using Kachina, I missed it a lot actually. Then I looked it up, and you will see an tribal mark on your screen. So it will like a turn into a big one within a fraction of like 1 or 2 seconds. Then you have to immediately switch to a Natlan characters. Then the Night Soul burst can be well used anyway. So it will be there for 20 seconds. So even if you're using other characters from apart from Natlan, so away from Natlan, that is, let's say from if you're using Noel, for as an example, if you're using Noel, if you're on the way using our elemental burst, you will see an tribal mark pop up on your skin. Then immediately switch to Kachina, for example, and try to go with our elemental burst and try to go with our elemental skill. That way you can dish out more damage. So the general thing is, if you have Night Soul Burst triggered, immediately switch to Natlan characters. That way you can dish out more damage with their elemental skill and elemental burst from Natlan characters. That is, and also the Night Soul Burst, it's very hard to spot. So make sure to keep an lookout for the one actually. And then yeah, the weight of stone. We have turbo 12 is damage is increased by 20% of Kachina's defense. So you can easily activate this one while ascending Kachina. So turbo 12 is damage, which is the elemental skill, and the elemental burst damage, the elemental skill damage is increased by 30% of Kachina's defense. So you'll have more value out of her elemental skill. Then you have this one here, Night Realm's Gift, Art of Unity. This is the one. So she can able to, if our Night Soul points are consumed, you can able to she will be consuming Progestone. I'm not really sure with the pronunciation here. I probably forgot about this one here, to maintain her Night Soul Blessing. So for using her Go Turbo 20 elemental skill. So if you run out of what's the one, Night Soul Blessing. So this is where Natlan characters kind of sucks outside Natlan. So they will run out of Night Soul Blessings way faster, and then you will run out of Night Soul Blessings, and you will be running out of the exploration skills. But in Natlan, you will have this one here, the orange per red bar on top of your HP bar. So you can replenish them in a lot of places in Natlan, like most of the places, even at the Statue of 7 and what's the one, Teleport Point 2. So you can replenish them there, and you can they can use that one for exploration. So they will start consuming once the Night Soul's blessing ascended. So yeah, there you go. She can use Night Soul transmission Kachina when the active character is currently sprinting. There you go. This is a good thing actually. So when the active character is currently sprinting, climbing in a moment mode, is caused by certain talents or at a certain height in the air, the following will trigger when switching to Kachina. Kachina will enter the Night Soul blessing state and ride turbo to, and when taking the field while gaining 30 Night Soul points. So this should have been the case with the C2 Kachina. There you go. So now we have 30 Night Soul points. She will immediately get 30 Night Soul points. That's what I mentioned while explaining our C2. So whenever we switch while climbing or even sprinting or walking, whatever it is anyway, if you switch to Kachina, she will immediately she will immediately launch Turbo 20. So she will be riding Turbo 20, and you can able to get 30 Night Soul points, and you can able to finish the climbing, finish the running, whatever it is anyway. Night Soul transmission can be triggered once every 10 seconds by your own team, so it can be activated only every 10 seconds, which is a lot. Additionally, while in Natlan, Kachina will consume 90% less stamina when climbing while riding Turbo 20. There you go. So that's a huge advantage while exploring Natlan. So for exploration, she excels in exploring parts of Natlan, but outside of Natlan, she is fine. for this ability over here, but I don't think she is very useful outside of Nightland. So Boon of Crystal Flame, while in an area with the Phlogiston mechanic, which will be in a small, like arc-shaped one, and you can be able to replenish your stuff there. With the Natlan, 20 stamina will be restored when interacting with some harvestable items. So if you like get some berries in related to Natlan, so you can be able to get the nice. So the 20 stamina will be restored as well. Additionally, the location of nearby resources unique to Natlan will appear on your minimap. So this will come in handy if you are gathering materials for level up materials for Kachina, Moalani, or Kinich, for example, or if they even the upcoming getters. So this was a very good one actually, very vital one. Even Moalani has this one too, but it's better to have a free-to-play character, free character having this one, this ability, which is pretty good actually. And for the team comp, yeah, team comp is a different thing, a different beast for Kachina actually. So you won't be seeing a lot of team variety at the moment right now, but I will try to build my Kachina on my side account, then I'll showcase it better on our mono Geo team. Yeah, for team comp, so she excels in mono Geo team since if you have Constellation and if you combine her with Novel, you will get more benefit from her. So with C4 and C6, you can combine her really well with the Novel, and for C1 she can be combined really well with the likes of Navia. Yeah, that's very good. And also her turbo fully accounts as a Geo construct, so that will help Chiori to launch 2 Tamato. Tamato on the field. So for Chiori's elemental skill to have 2 constructs on the battlefield, like 2 dolls on the battlefield, you need another Geo construct. So this turbo fully here from Kachina will act as a Geo construct, and you will have 2 out of it. Actually, you can be able to get 2 dolls of Chiori. So pairing Kachina, Chiori, Novel, and Navia will work well, or you can be able to go with the Navia, Novel for Geo team, mono Geo team, Navia, Kachina, Novel, and Garo. So even though I don't use the Garo, so Garo can increase the defense actually. So I'll just use Garo for the mono G team, or go with the Kachina, Albedo, or Ito. Even Nungon can be mixed as well, so it can be done. So you can recommend her in most of the Geo team, even you can recommend her with Zhongli too. It's entirely possible in mono Geo team. For Rainbow team, it depends on your choice. So I'm gonna use Kachina, that is. So as I mentioned before, you can be able to trigger various other reactions, and you can be able to trigger her elemental burst and go with her elemental skill. So if you are using her in a Rainbow team, just go with this one here, the new artifact set piece. So which is what's the one? Crawl up the hero of Synchronicity. That will come in handy for you. But I'm still using this set piece over here for Kachina at the moment, since I don't have this one, and I'm still waiting for a proper set piece anyway. So if we have this one here and combine her with the most part of the with a lot of teams, that will come in handy. And if you are running a mono Geo team, this will come in handy, and also Golden Shoot will come in handy for using another skill too. So that's mostly viable when you are pairing up with Navia or Novel for the reason anyway. So you can be able to get more value out of her with the Golden Shoot. Depends on your choice anyway. And also, yeah, this won't stack, but I think Asuka Problem Dreams doesn't. You don't need to worry about having the 2 characters running with this one here, since I'm using Novel. Asuka Problem Dreams with Novel as well. Oh no, wait. I was asking. This is my first one. Sorry. So on my second account only, I have Asuka Problem Dreams on my Novel. Totally forgot that one. Yeah. Anyway, so. Right now, so look at this team here. I'm using her in Dori, Kirara, Kachina, Kachina and Candace at the moment. So you can able to see some of if you are wondering. So you can able to check my previous live stream when I used Kachina for doing Spiral Abyss. But I have defeated. You probably would be seeing that clip now, or would have seen that clip now. So I defeated the Polychrome Tri-Stars with Kachina early on. So whenever I finish building her. Anyway, that should be the end of this video over here. So in conclusion, Kachina is a great choice if you are exploring in Natland. You can use her. She excels in exploration in Natland. So while climbing the rocks, a lot of places are very hard to climb in Natland, so it's better to use her in most places. You can use the dinosaur ability too, but I highly recommend using Kachina instead of them. So in a lot of places you won't be having the dinosaur ability, and they are kind of slow. They are on the slow side. And outside of Lantern, it's very hard to use her, but you can use her. She's a viable choice. And in combat, she function as a DPS role, or even mostly sub DPS role, and she's an support. She can like go for a support role too. So sub DPS and support role is the most value out of Kachina, but you can able to use her as an on-field DPS too. With her, she excels with her concentration and pairing her with Noval, and also she excels in mono GA most of the time. And if you have a sprawl, what's the one? Sprawl of the Hero of Syndicity, 4 pieces. If you have a pretty good decent stats on them, just use them and you will get more value out of her in Rainbow team, like all the other teams anyway. So apart from Geo team. If you have a mono G team, go with Aspa Popular Dreams, and the Golden Troop is a viable option for her, improving the elemental skill damage from Kachina too. So in general, in conclusion, yeah, Kachina is a wise choice, and the 5.0 Archon Quest, if you haven't played 5.0 Archon Quest, I highly recommend going for other Archon Quest. She's the most important part in 5.0 Archon Quest. And I really enjoyed 5.0 Archon Quest, and that's one of the reasons I'm loving Kachina more. And as soon as I finished that Archon Quest, and I started immediately building her. I knew I have to build her early, but after finishing the Archon Quest, I value her more nowadays. And after seeing the Constellation for her, I think she's a very good choice. And if you pair her with Noel, so since Noel is my favorite cat in the game, and if anything kind of boost Noel, I will go for it. So I will try to build a Kachina on my second account, or even on my first account, and try to get a Constellation later down the track. Hopefully I will get C6 soon, and I will showcase guys. Yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Pair if you have C6 or C4 Kachina.
Why don't we take a look at my collection? Let's go!
Pair it with Noel, and let me know in the comments below whether my suggestion worked or not, or my theory worked or not. Yeah, that's it from me, this video. It's a lengthy video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video over here. If you have any further doubts, ask me in the comments below, or ask me during a Sunday live stream. I will be doing a regular Sundays like a regular live stream on Sundays, every Sunday, for Genshin Bat, even vaious, and what's the other one? Honkai Star. Yeah, I'll see you there. Make sure to check the title and thumbnail for each video and live streams of mine, since I cover different games on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the soon. Bye for now. Take care. Yeah.